All right, class, to help y'all with the week 6 DQ2, which is a pretty tricky one. I think people are just a little bit confused with the assignment. You see on your screen here the website that you'll go to. You're being asked to find the geometric mean for the past 60 months. Understand that geometric mean is not the same as the arithmetic mean. And the arithmetic mean is what you're used to as just finding the normal average. So if it had asked us to find the arithmetic mean, then you would have just added up the rates from the past 60 months and would have divided by 60. But this is a different calculation. So that's the first thing, is to realize that this is not asking for the typical average. All right. There is a geometric mean formula that you can find in your text. I'll also go ahead and include it in my leading post. But the formula would be extremely tedious to do by hand. It's a pretty complex formula. So you can use the formula by hand when you're working your MML exercises, because there are not very many numbers that you'll be working with. But if you're going to work with the past 60 months, then that is 60 numbers, 60 rates that you'll be working with, and that would be very tedious trying to do it by hand. So that's why I'm going to show you all just a quick video of how to get Excel to do it. All right, so when you go to this website, it will take you to historical inflation rates, and all you'll do is just go get the last 60. So the last 60, you just start here at the most recent one in 2016 and back up until you get 60. I'm going to leave that up to you to just count and get the most recent 60 inflation rates, okay? Now, keep in mind, these are assumed to be percentages, okay? I don't know if it tells you that. Yes, it actually does. It says in percentages. So these are assumed to be in percentages, which is why you're going to see that I have to actually change them to decimal form when I get to Excel, but I'll show you all how to do that. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and open up an Excel spreadsheet. Now, I typed in some numbers, but of course, I don't want to do your homework problem, your DQ answer for you. I want you to leave that up to you. So I cut mine short. You're going to actually have 60 numbers down column A. I only typed in 20 numbers. So just keep in mind, my answer is not going to be the same as yours because I'm using fewer numbers, but you'll use the last 60 rates rather than these 20 numbers. All right. Since these are percentages, then the first thing I'm going to do is program Excel to change them to decimal form. Well, remember, to change from percent to decimal, you just divide by 100. So up here in cell B1, I'm going to start with my equal sign and go back and tell it to take cell A1, which is really the 2.7, and I'm going to put slash divided by 100 and then press enter, and notice it changed from the 2.7% to its decimal form of 0.027. Now, because I used the Excel formula notation and a cell reference of A1, then I can just click this box, come down to the little solid black cross that you see in the bottom right-hand corner, and take my mouse and just click and drag all the way down. And notice it has quickly changed all of my percentages to decimal form. All right? Now, because these are inflation rates, then realistically, we're going to be doing percentage increases from these numbers, all right? And in fact, I think some of the ones that you even have in your list will be negatives. And there's going to be an Excel program that calculates geometric means for us, but it can't do it with negative numbers. So you have to remember, like if something decreases by 1%, so it's a negative 1% change, that's really like increasing by 99%, okay? Remember when we did the height problem? If your height increases by 15%, that's really like multiplying by 1.15. If your height decreases by 1%, that's really like multiplying by 0.99. And so what you're going to see me doing in this third column is adding a 1 to all my numbers, all right? And that's because we're doing percentage increases. So to do that, I'm going to go to cell C1, start with an equal sign, and I'm just going to take cell B1, but I'm going to add a 1 to it. So I'm going to say plus 1, press enter, and notice all it did was add a 1 to that. So that this number will now reflect a percentage increase of 2.7%. And similar to what I did in column B, click, go down to the solid black cross, and scroll down, and you'll have all your numbers. It will be these numbers in column C that you will use your geometric mean formula. And to use the formula in Excel, you're just going to find a blank cell somewhere over here. Start with equal sign, and then capital GEOMEAN. It'll probably go ahead and bring up the automatic geometric mean function, which is geomean. It tells you it returns the geometric mean of any array of numbers, and they have to be positive numbers, which is why I changed these. And I'm going to open parentheses, and then in your column C, you will just click and drag down all your cells. Notice it says C1 through C20 because that's where I have my numbers. Yours will say C1 through C60, hopefully. Close out the parentheses and press enter. Now, because you ended up adding a 1 to all your numbers, then in order to actually get the geometric mean, you will subtract out the 1. So like if you took this number and then subtracted the 1, then your actual geometric mean would just be the 0.017693, which as a percentage is, of course, roughly around, what, 1.77% roughly. All right? And that would be the geometric mean. So I'll be interested in the discussion, first of all, for you to show your answer, your calculation, attach your Excel spreadsheet, but then do a little research. I'll include a website for you in my first link, but otherwise do a little bit of research to find out why do we sometimes calculate a geometric mean when we deal with inflation rates rather than just the normal average or arithmetic mean. So that will also be something that I will want you to do a little bit of research on and bring that up to help you round out your discussion response for the DQ2 this week.